Hello and welcome, talking about the MIDI filter on the Yamaha RM1X, and I brought the Electron Digitact and connected its MIDI out to the MIDI in on the Yamaha RM1X and its MIDI in to the MIDI out on the Yamaha RM1X, so I can send MIDI information both ways. And this keyboard here is acting as a normal MIDI keyboard, so I can play notes like C, D, E, F, and so on and so forth, just to demonstrate how it works. And the other way around, the Electron Digitact can also receive MIDI information and play its internal sound engine, which we are also going to do later on. So first of all, the Electron Digitact is completely muted. I turned down the volume completely, while the Yamaha RM1X is volume-wise turned up, and you can see it's the only voice or the only sound that you should be hearing right now. So when I just play some notes, you can see some MIDI in activity, meaning some MIDI notes, MIDI information is coming in. And when I hit rec and play, which I can't do actually in preset mode, so I have to go into the user mode first, which is an empty button right now. So I hit record and play, and I can play some MIDI information, and it recorded the sequence and I can play it. I'm going to undo this thing so we have an empty pattern again. And when I now go into the utility menu and hit it a couple of times until I reach the MIDI filter, I can deselect the MIDI in for the MIDI note information. So there's other MIDI information which you can do the same with, but I'm just going to deselect the note, the MIDI note. And the first time when I was having this box, I was now expecting that when I now play some notes that I wouldn't hear anything anymore, but still, like, MIDI notes are getting into the box, and you can see the activity here, and you can also hear the sounds. So now when I go into recording mode, I recognize the only thing that's really being filtered out is when I try to record those notes. So it's being applied to the recording only. Something good to know for you, I guess. Now let's turn it the other way around. So I go to the non-recording mode. I turn on the volume of the Electron Digitact. I turn off the volume on the Yamaha RM1X. And I'm on track 1. And if you watch one of the previous videos, you know that I'm not only sending on track 1 MIDI information to the internal sound engine to play it, but also to the MIDI out. So I'm sending information out on channel 1 to trigger the Digitact now. So I go out here and I can play the first track on the Digitact right now. And I can also create a sequence. And I can play this sequence. And now it's basically the other way around. So when I go back to the utility menu, and when I now even deselect the out for the MIDI note, and go back to the main menu, and I still can play MIDI. So it's still sending MIDI note out via this box into the Digitact. But the thing that's not happening anymore is that when I hit play, that it's not sequencing the Electron Digitact anymore. That means for the MIDI filter, the input is applied to the recording while the output is applied to the sequences. And that was quite confusing to me at the beginning, and I hope it helps you for, like, you know, not wondering on like how it works, and maybe it helps a bit like identifying that this is not like a bug or anything, but it's on purpose, and this is actually the way it works and also the way it's described in the manual. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.